So Disney, huh?
So Disney.
So Disney. You know, you heard about that guy, right, at Disney who stole a bunch of money at Disney Springs because he stole from a restaurant that's on the water at Disney Springs. He like scuba steved it up to the side of this boat themed restaurant, stole $20,000 of money from employees that were putting it in the safe, and then didn't get away on foot. He swam back across the lake and got away.
Preposterous.
There is a picture of the guy, and he looks like a Scooby-Doo villain. He's in like an all-black rubber suit with two like just circles for eyeballs.
Yeah. And we saw this post, and it said, the drinks are $18. So who's really robbing who here?
That's Robin Hood, man of the people, right? Well, only if he gives it back, I guess.
So the restaurant is called Paddlefish. So I'm curious if you've ever eaten there. Is the food worth it?
Is it worth $18 for a cocktail? It's got to be a fishbowl if it's a cocktail.
I would be very drunk.
It doesn't take much for you. It does not take much.
But we wanted to share some lighter news before we go into the heaviness. It has been just over a week since...
Wait, should we be thankful for something first?
Let's do that, yeah.
Okay, so let's start with being thankful for something. We're going to try to make this a habit of doing that before we get into anything too serious for every podcast. So one thing that I'm thankful for is my progression in my professional career. That's been going very well for me lately, and for us, it's been such a blessing to be in this new position with this new company, and I really couldn't be more thankful to be able to support, our family and be able to take some pressure off of you in doing so.
It's been an interesting few years.
Yes, it has been.
And I am thankful for that as well. I think that it feels nice to be balanced in the house.
Yeah, it definitely feels more balanced now.
I am thankful I went on a little beach trip for a friend's birthday, and it felt nice to escape the heaviness that's been in my heart. I am also thankful that despite the atrocious act of Charlie Kirk's assassination, that there has been such a beautiful movement for Turning Point and a beautiful movement for spirituality and religion.
Yeah, it's been a turning point for the country. It has been.
I think it's been a turning point for the world.
Yeah, I mean, you look at other nations and see the movements that are happening over there. There were 3 million that gathered in London. Mm-hmm. What an incredible reaction. It's a shame that it took what it did take to get these people to show up. But
I'm thankful for the outpouring of change that I think we as a world so desperately need. So
couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Okay. So which story did you want to go into first?
I want to talk about transmaxing.
Transmaxing.
Have you guys ever heard of transmaxing?
I just learned about it today.
So we're in a group of conservatives that I sent this over to, but transmaxing was a very interesting concept.
Yeah, and it didn't come from the group. You found it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then you sent it to the group, and everybody was like, what the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, and I've been doing some research on it, so I kind of just want you to read. I want to read the definition via the AI overview. Of course, the AI overview is taking from a bunch of different sources, and it's saying that it's inaccurate and offensive.
It's inaccurate and offensive, but here it is anyway.
Yeah. It is originating from the incel, which is involuntarily celibate subculture. So it's basically...
All of Reddit. Sorry, go ahead.
It's basically a bunch of pussy men. I had to say it. who think that they will never sleep with anyone.
Well, hold on. So I will say is that there is historical evidence of men who never amount to anything. There are always going to be men that never amount to anything. That's just been a truth that has happened throughout the entire existence of the human species. There are men that do not lead, they do not own anything, they do not have children, they do not get with women, they do nothing in their life.
Can't even imagine.
Right. And now in our society and the way that it's set up, I would actually argue that there is much, much less men that happens to. I think that because more people can connect with more people, men can actually find connections a lot easier.
Yeah, social media probably allows for that.
Social media allows for connections, but it also disillusions men as well, I think, because it shows some men the potential of women, and then they won't settle for anything less than the Instagram models that they see. And that's unrealistic for a lot of guys.
Or it's unrealistic for women to be that version of themselves,
but it's also unrealistic for guys to shoot for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because guys like that are never going to be able to get girls like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Unless they might be incels themselves and they're just really hot.
Or insanely rich.
Yes. So anyway, the rest of the definition says that men, particularly these incels, transition to women not because they are transgender, but to improve their dating prospects or gain perceived social benefits. So the first thing I thought of, and I don't know if you know who this is, Lily Tino.
No, can't say I do.
So Lily Tino is the guy that says that they are trans, does nothing other than have long hair and some makeup.
Is this Queer Eye?
No.
Oh.
No.
Although.
Yeah, I don't think he transmaxed. I think he actually is queer. Anyway, so Lily Tino basically went to Disney and talked about how they would turn his parts into women parts at Disney, and he took the selfie. Oops, sorry. He took the
selfie in the bathroom, shouldn't have.
Yes.
Got it. I think I know who you're talking about. I think I've seen some clips of that guy.
Yep.
Where waiters have been like, "Oh, here you go, sir," and then he's like, "I don't want it. I don't want to eat here. I feel attacked. I can't believe you did this."
That's Lily Tino.
Okay, now I get it.
Yep. So, in my opinion, my first thought, and if you know the history of Lily Tino, basically was a man that wasn't doing well at anything, and one day came out as transgender and has done nothing to make themselves transgender.
Right, except look a certain way.
Right, they're almost like role playing a woman as a man.
I think there was some criticism of Dylan Mulvaney.
Yes.
In the same vein. Now, I know that he got procedures to look more feminine, but he doesn't sound any more feminine. And he's just... I think that there were so many videos of his that came off as him just playing the character of a woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was about the girlhood situation.
Yeah, no, I know that he did day so and so of being a girl, whatever. But there was a video I remember seeing. It was one of his earlier videos about how he got his hiking heels to go hiking on a trail.
Oh, yeah, right.
And to me, that's you're just playing the part.
Oddly enough, I do know some women that would be like that, but I agree.
But it doesn't happen.
I agree. And I don't know that these people are transmaxing. I just that feels like an appropriate correlation between transmaxing and these people.
So then there's another level to it too, right? Where there are the Chad incels, which I didn't know was a thing. I had a different interpretation of what I thought a Chad was. I thought that was a guy that had his life together. I thought that was somebody who worked out and had a good job and didn't sleep with multiple women and was on it or whatever. But apparently the Chad is the king of the incels, and the highest honor that a Chad could have is convincing another incel to turn himself into a woman, essentially.
Chads often exaggerate their cheeks, jawline, and chin to look more masculine. So we've seen those like, the AI photos of,
I know what you're talking about. It's like it's kind of like a, it's masculine to the point of it being like
yes, but the guy from High School Musical.
Oh, Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. The AI photos of Zac Efron.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, they're AI. That's not what he...
Well,
I mean...
I know that it's AI.
Oh.
I'm aware that he doesn't actually look like that. His head would be this big. But, yeah, I didn't realize that was supposed to be Zac Efron.
Yes, that's Zac Efron. So to me, that is what the idea of a Chad is that AI exaggerated Zac Efron look where they're trying to make their jaws and their lips and their chins much more masculine, because they feel like they're not masculine. I'm also seeing that the word mewing, we all know what that is, the mewing thing, apparently comes from this transmaxing.
That's so weird.
I know.
I don't know if that comes from transmaxing. Maybe they adopted it. But that just seems weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's an article on Medium. Incels are now transitioning into women to get laid. This was written 2 years ago.
Wow.
Chad sexual. Yeah. So the reason that I think this is so prevalent today is because there are some people who are correlating Charlie Kirk's assassination, Tyler, his boyfriend, that they were part of this transmaxing community.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason that Tyler did what he did, that he was part of this incel community. And when we watched this, it was a funny video of this gentleman reading off the text messages that they sent to each other in an incel voice.
And
meme
it makes a lot more sense when you read it in that voice.
Yeah.
Versus like just trying to read it in an old timey voice.
Yeah.
And
it was like, "Hey, princess."
Yeah. It was the lisp and the childlike, cadence to the.
Yeah. So it is very creepy.
It's very creepy.
And the fact that I have said transmaxing, incel, and meme lord in the same sentence makes me want to wash my tongue out.
We get alcohol right over there.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I think that's why this is coming out so heavily right now. This is not a new concept. It's very heavily on Reddit.
Yeah.
It's a big subreddit community. But I don't know. I don't know if that's what happens with... I mean, there's a lot of conspiracies running around right now.
There's a lot of conspiracies running around right now. And actually, one of the biggest conspiracies I think that's coming from the right is that the guy that they call it Tyler isn't actually the guy that did it.
Yeah.
And I have some problems with the guy who did it and the FBI and how it's come out and seeing the videos and all that. And then there are also people who think that the shooter came from behind Charlie and was over there because of how his body fell and how reacted to the... No, the shot, to me, how Charlie reacted, came from where the FBI says it came from.
Yeah.
His chest goes back, and then his hands come up, and he falls over to his left. It was very indicative of a shot going straight through with little resistance, and his hands came up to try to react to it, and he fell to his left because it was on the left side of his body. And what a horrible, horrible picture and image. And I hate having to think about that over and over again. But there are people that keep on saying that, it came from behind him or from somebody in the crowd, or it came from another side because he falls to his left. And, there's also people that say, it had to be from a trained assassin or somebody who's used to long shot. It really doesn't take that much. It doesn't take that much training. I watch a lot of Tim Pool, and he has talked to people who've shot guns, who have trained doing those things. And Tim asked him, like, what would it take to hit a target, a Charlie Kirk-sized target from 200 yards? And they say a couple hours worth of training.
I actually think that regardless of who did it, it was God's will to make it quick and painless.
And it was quick because he did not.
There's a video of the gentleman that was standing beside Charlie, who was his long-term best friend and thought of Charlie as his fourth son. And he helped Charlie into the car after he had been shot. And he said he remembered looking at him as they put him in the car, and there was no more Charlie. So
it could not have taken long.
Yeah.
It could not have taken long. If you've seen the video of it happening, you would know that did not. It did not last long.
And I am so sorry that you had to see that video.
Yes.
I think that while the whole thing is horrible and hard, I think that seeing the video made it even harder, and it's graphic. It feels like I watched my husband get shot.
The only problem that I have about the shooter being the shooter and the videos that we've seen of him escaping, I'm not sure if you've seen the video of him jumping down off the roof and then going off campus and crossing the road and then kind of disappearing. My only problem is that it doesn't look like he has a gun with him. And from what I personally think and believe is that he did have something on him to settle the rifle on to get a good shot and to get it to be steady. And I think that was a backpack. And I think that he did have a backpack on when he jumped off the roof. But he also had something that he grabbed from the roof of the building at the same time. So what I think is that he actually had another bag, like a knapsack, that he could put the stock of the gun in, so only the barrel was sticking out. And I think that that's what we see him grab off of the roof.
Yeah.
I don't have enough evidence to really support
we're
that.
Not FBI.
We're not FBI, and we don't have the full story. And even if we heard the full story from the FBI, I don't know if we would believe it.
Yeah.
But to me, what makes sense in that situation with the FBI being correct is that Tyler put a bag around the stock of the gun so the barrel was just sticking out, and that way it didn't look suspicious. All you saw was a pipe sticking out of a bag.
Yeah.
Essentially, with that kind of gun, it's a very bare barrel, and I think that that's what happened. If we were to believe what the FBI is saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, right? Because most of my life I've been a conspiracy theorist. And this one, I don't know how I feel. I mean, there's been conspiracies coming even from his former best friend. Man, I'm not good with names tonight.
Political figure?
Mm-hmm. Woman.
Candace Owens?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
My head said Candace Cameron Burr, and I was like, that's not his best friend.
It'd be weird.
That would be a weird correlation. Anyway, so Candace says that she believes it's the Jews.
Yeah, but Candace Owens is a bit anti-Semitic. She's... Now let me take that back. She might not be anti-Semitic, but she has very strong feelings about Jews.
Yeah.
She has very strong feelings about Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to the point where it's like, it feels like her and Kanye are kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, well,
with some of that stuff.
I saw someone say earlier that it's not the Jewish people, it's the Jewish religion. And it's like anytime you're in a far, far left, far right, whatever, that spectrum of it's almost like far Christianity or far Judaism. I think when you really start to get deep into those things, it can get very evil because your mindset of whatever you're believing gets corrupted.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To be on a tangent just about the right is that there's such like a diverse set of political influencers on the
Yeah.
right. Like Nick Fuentes is clearly not Ben Shapiro, who's clearly not Candace Owens, who's clearly not Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
You know, there's Milo Yiannopoulos, who's coming out of retirement. So it's just like there's such a diverse like group of people on the right that you just don't see on the left. I feel like the left, everybody has to espouse the exact same thoughts and feelings on things. And on the right, it's, yeah, well, I agree with you there. Maybe I can give you a little bit of leeway here, but this I think you're totally wrong on.
Yeah. I mean, even you and I are like that.
Yeah.
There are absolutely things that he's steadfast on that I'm like, well, and I'm more libertarian than I am anything else.
Yeah.
But I am definitely conservative.
Yeah. You're definitely more libertarian than I am.
Yeah. I don't think big daddy government should be on our business.
No, not at all. And I think that that's actually the conservative linchpin, right? Is the government needs to be small because we don't have freedom with big government.
Yeah, I actually think that the thoughts that liberals have that the government should be involved in everything, that they should have a hand in everything that we do, keeps us small, and maybe that's the point.
Oh, it's definitely the point, but that's, you know, it's weird because then you think of like totalitarian, you know, you think dictators are going to keep such a stronghold on what people do with the idea that the people will stay small, so the dictator, the crown, whatever it is, stays as big as it can be.
Yeah.
And I think that when you get into big countries, big nations, big groups of people, you're going to find that there's a larger push towards dictatorship, totalitarianism, because the more people there are, the more variance of thoughts, ideas, actions.
You can't make everyone happy.
Right. It's impossible to.
Yeah.
And so that's why the best way to run the United States is to keep it on the state level.
Yeah.
There should be some coherency so that at wartime, all the states can get together and say, okay, we're fighting a war against not us.
Yeah, I think our big government's job is to protect our borders. It's to protect our foreign politics, and it's to protect our finances at the national level.
There's a great mini doc called Wheat, Weed, and Obamacare.
Ooh.
It's a really interesting one that I saw while I was at college. It was during my business politics course.
They let you watch that?
That was a really, really fun course, actually. I'm not going to lie. That was one of my favorite courses. And it's about what Congress's power actually is. And essentially, it should be limited to monitor the interstate commerce between that of states and the Indian tribes. That was the original state of it. So essentially, it would be like if there was a problem with, say that New Jersey didn't want double long trailers, you know, Congress would come in and say, hey, you can't do that because every other state does it. And there's a major highway going through New Jersey that goes up to New York and Boston and also connects to Baltimore and DC. And there's major ports in New Jersey. You can't just not allow this main form of transport going through because that would interfere with interstate commerce.
Yeah.
Just as an example.
Interesting.
Yes.
I like that.
It's a very interesting document, and if we can find it, maybe I'll put it in the comments below. So go take a look.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I agree. We're such a large country. It's not possible to make everyone happy. So if you agree with politics like California, you have the opportunity to go move to a state that espouses those politics.
I totally agree. And the problem with the liberal mindset is that they look at Texas and say that Texas is supposed to live a certain way.
Yes.
But guess what? Texas isn't California.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where I think that Texas is more diverse from California than, like, Spain is to France.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't go move to another state and expect them to conform to what you want. What, you moved there because you like the taxes? Well, yeah, because they're the other party than you. Like,
right. If you're in California and you like all of the government programs that they are, but you hate the taxes, and then you go to move to Tennessee, you can't just all of a sudden say, like, wait a minute, but where's all the government programs? Like, come on. You're there for a reason. Be there for that reason.
and I think it's okay that our states are very diverse, because it allows that freedom of thought and the freedom of speech that we're inalienable rights that allowed to have.
Yes.
Move to the state that fits your politics. Keep voting that way. Keep the state that way.
Yeah, if you move there because that state is a certain way, keep voting for that state to be that way. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the things that drives me nuts, and it's happened in friends and family that I know that move from one state to another thinking they're going to take their politics with them, but they move there because they like XYZ of that state, and that's just not how that works.
No.
And I actually think it helps us a lot with being a little bit more safe in what our politics are, that we don't always have to argue, because your politics get to stay within your state and you don't have to like what I do over here. And that's okay.
You can stay in your state, and I'm going to stay in my state. And then that's it.
And if you don't like the politics in your state and you're stuck there, then you have to make the best of your... I mean, like, we live in a state that is like mini California.
Oh, it's the Republic of Maryland.
Yeah, and where we live is not what Baltimore votes for. And so, unfortunately, you do get big cities that vote for the majority of the state in smaller states.
That's what happens.
But you can vote at your local level. Vote for people who are on your side at the local level.
Be involved. Be involved in your local government, in your town government, in your mayor elections, in your board elections, in your school board conversations. Get involved.
It matters a lot more than you realize.
It does. It really does.
There is one more point that I want to bring up that I don't think you and I have previously discussed.
Okay.
Do you know what COMAR is?
COMAR?
COMAR, yeah. I don't know exactly what it stands for, but COMAR is basically Maryland's board of schools.
Okay.
And school regulations and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And they are trying to regulate homeschools.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have heard you talk about this before.
Yeah, and one of the things that they want to do is make all homeschoolers follow a curriculum in the state of Maryland. All of them follow the exact same curriculum.
Good luck.
But that's the whole point of homeschooling, is that you're following a different curriculum.
Right, that you don't have to go with the curriculum. The state, homeschooling isn't for the convenience of your kids not having to leave the home. Mm-hmm. Homeschooling is there so that you can teach your kids what isn't being taught at the state schools. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. And that's why you also go to private schools, mm-hmm. so that you're not being taught what's being taught at the state schools. Yeah,
you're trying to give your kids an opportunity of diverse thought, I think, at homeschooling.
Well, that's what you should be doing.
Yes.
And our current education system is terrible, honestly.
It's terrible.
I think it's just the worst. It's the worst. No one's seen anything worse than that. If I made a school, it'd be the biggest and the best school. Trump our school. That's what I would call it.
Trump our school.
I don't know what the R stands for.
No, it felt like Toys R Us.
Trump our school.
The other thing that they're trying to pull is that they want to be able to walk into homes unannounced to check to see if your kids are being homeschooled properly.
I can only imagine how bad that's going to go.
Right. Right.
Whoosh. Like, what are you going to do? That's a home invasion.
That is a home invasion.
That's a home invasion.
Well, I don't know. I may have misspoken. It might not have been unannounced.
Okay, I hope that that's not the case then. Like, always leave your door unlocked. Give us a key. No.
Yeah, I don't mean... by unannounced, I mean they don't have to call you and say, hey, we're coming over.
Oh, okay. There's still a knock at the door. And
I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so, because that would be really dangerous for all parties involved.
Or else Xena Princess Warrior is gonna find lunch.
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine? Please don't walk into people's homes unannounced.
No.
Don't do that. There's even
maybe your parents.
Yeah, maybe. There's even some like properties that you don't step foot on without going unannounced.
Especially on the Eastern Shore of Maryland.
Like, sometimes it is the pets that you have to worry about. I'm not gonna lie. That trained pets can be very dangerous.
No, that's why they're trained that way.
That's why they're trained that way. And I actually think I've seen videos of people in London who have trained their dogs to be defensive, and I think that that's proud. You know, you can't have a gun, you can't have a knife anymore. Like, you can't do anything to defend yourself. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna have Fido.
Honestly, the stuff that's happening in London, well, the stuff that's happening in England is abysmal.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't blame them for having a trained dog.
You should. I mean, at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I there's just
so much going on.
So much going on.
Which means plenty of podcast content for us to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, and just a few highlights from this week. We had, I believe, another school shooting happened.
There was that story about the Republican, I don't want to mess this up, but she worked for, I think, a congressman.
Yes.
In Texas, who caught fire in her backyard. Like, there was a fire in the backyard, EMS came, the fire was put out with the fire extinguisher, but she died at the hospital later from the fire wounds.
Yeah.
And the investigation currently is that there was no foul play. No one set her on fire. No one did this maliciously. That's currently the story that's going on right now. That's what the police chief says, that there's no foul play. If that changes, it's a different story. But what it is right now is that someone randomly caught fire in their backyard, and they just so happened to work for a Republican, I want to say congressman. I might have that wrong.
I didn't read the story, so you would know better than I would. There's another incident that happened. I want to say it's also Texas, but I could be wrong. Where 2 boys were found hung on their college campus.
Oh, but they hung themselves, right? Is that one?
They said there was no foul play.
Right. Okay, so that's the second time. And weren't they black kids
too? They were 2 young black kids.
2 young black kids hung by trees.
Yeah.
On college campus.
That sounds like a lynching to me.
That's exactly what it sounds like. That is exactly what that sounds like.
And 2? Right.
And I don't think it was Texas. I want to say it was like Mississippi or Louisiana.
You might be correct on that one.
I think it's one of the Mississippi River
I feel bad that I don't remember,
states.
But
yeah.
There's just been so much chaos that's been happening. It's hard to keep up with what's going on. There was another story that happened, and now I can't even remember that one because it's just been one after another.
There's always going to be stories that happen.
100%, but it just feels it's been exhausting the past few weeks, and I'm so sorry if you've been feeling that heaviness, not even just with Charlie Kirk, but with all of the school shootings, all of these incidences, all of the political figures that are getting hurt, killed, mauled, the Ukrainian girl. It's all just been so horrible. And these headlines are exhausting.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to stop either. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So if you feel lonely, if you feel like there's no point to anything, if you really need to find someone to talk to, pray, go to church.
Find your community.
Find your community. Your local community is going to be the biggest thing that you could possibly do. Get involved, meet some people. Be a neighbor. Be a neighbor to somebody. Go introduce yourself to somebody new this week. Seriously.
Yeah, the best thing you can do to pull yourself out of loneliness is to love other people.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Surround other people. And honestly, I know that there are a lot of people who feel like they need help, but sometimes the thing that helps me feel really good is when I can help somebody else out too. So put yourself in that situation where you're strong enough to help somebody else out this week.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best things that you can do for your mental health.
Yeah.
I really do.
And love everyone. And it doesn't matter where they fall on the spectrum of anything. Every person is deserving of love.
Love your neighbor. Even if they're your next door neighbor and sometimes they play the music a little too loud. Love your neighbor.
Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for watching another episode or listening. And we will see you on the next one.